The wild weather that has been pounding the South Island today left large parts of the west coast cut off and without power. One such town was Harihari, roughly an hour's drive south of Hokitika. We were there earlier, of course, where our reporter Conan Young and visual journalist Rebecca Parsons-King were trapped this afternoon, along with about 100 locals and tourists too, of course, this time of year. Conan, I think, joins us now from Rossi. There, Conan.
Yeah, that's right. How you doing, John?
Oh, yeah, good. Well, I haven't had the day you've had, bro. What have you seen? What's the latest?
Yeah, well, look, I can tell you, as far as Harihari is concerned, the road north from the town reopened at 4 this afternoon. That's why we're in Ross now, just north of Harihari. However, for those wanting to head south towards the glaciers, a lot of those tourists, the last I heard, the highway was likely to remain closed overnight. Now, that's due to the sheer number of trees and power lines that are down and blocking the road. Fortunately for the good folk of Harihari, the power came back on at 2:30 this afternoon, so some good news for them. This was also a massive relief for some of the farmers, the dairy farmers in that neck of the woods, who rely on electricity to power their milking sheds. No power would have meant no milking, which could have seriously affected their cows, which all need to be milked at least once a day. We spoke to one of these farmers, Murray Wyatt, and he's farmed near Harihari his whole life, and he says he's never seen winds as strong as the ones he saw today.
These trees, that was, in the old days, it was called the queuing tree. When the guys were out felling and clearing the land, they used to go there at lunchtime and queue out. That's how it got its name.
Wow. And so you lost a shed there as well. There's a bit of metal sort of tin strewn over your fields there?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just got worse and worse, and didn't really expect it this fierce, but yeah, no, we've lost a lot of trees and sheds, and it'll take a bit of cleaning up, but you've got to keep going. It's,
what was it like at the peak of the winds there?
Frightening, yeah. Frightened to go outside because of the sheets of iron flying around, and we don't often get on the west coast big strong winds like this.
As we drove south from Harihari towards Franz Joseph and the Waiho River, which we'd heard stood a chance of bursting its banks, the force of the storm became quickly apparent.
Hey John, I'm standing here just outside of Harihari on the west coast. I thought I'd get out of the car and just give you an idea just of how strong this wind is. The rain is actually coming at me sideways, and it feels like hail just because it's been blowing so fast. We're going to drive a bit further up the road. We've come across a few trees and things on the road, but yeah, this wind is just, I have never ever experienced anything like this. This is intense.
After negotiating our way around numerous downed trees, we thought we'd finally met our match.
We've got a bunch of, looks like tourists, travellers on the other side of the road. They can't come this way and we can't go that way. I'm just looking up at some other trees that were growing next to this one, and they're pretty close to coming down. I don't want to actually stand here too long, but yeah, the rain is really coming down here. The wind not quite as strong as the exposed place we were in just before, but yeah, the rain really pouring down. The wind obviously strong enough to bring down a tree like this. I'm not sure what's going to happen now. I guess yeah, we'll have to wait for roading contractors maybe to come through and clear this tree. I think it's a little bit big for. These people are trying to move it. Okay, here we go. I was just going to say it looks a little bit too big for anybody to move, but these guys are going to give it a crack. I might actually go and give them a hand.
A group of fellow travellers stuck on either side of the tree struggled for 20 minutes to pull enough of the tree to one side to allow us to reopen at least one lane. No waiting for the authorities to turn up and do the job for us. In this case, people power was enough to get the job done and allow all of us to continue on our journey. Later, when we were all safely back in civilization, Hills Balkanendi Edelman and Sander Balkanendi said they were impressed with the display of teamwork.
That was crazy. I think with about 40 people, And then in the end, when
Maybe the trees were...
when the tree was off the road, everyone was like, New Zealand, New Zealand.
Yes.
So cool, yeah. So we actually felt really part of the... Like, people really said, we're doing this for the country.
Fellow traveller Dave said this wasn't the only tree that had to move along the way.
Who kept stopping at each tree and then using a team of maybe 15 or 20 people to pull each tree out of the way. It was, it was a good demonstration of teamwork, really.
Everybody spoken to was just a little bit terrified by the conditions.
There was just one point where we got out to move a tree and then there was some more cracking coming from the other trees around us. And I said to the lads that if one goes, to just dive into the ditch, because then the tree would fall on the road and we'd be all right. But other than that, I think we all found it quite exciting.
Crazy weather. Like really, you saw the wind blowing over the street, and our little van, we nearly blew off a couple of times.
I frightened because we were driving through the woods, and the trees are very, very high, and trees on both sides, and I was afraid of we got a tree in our car. So yes, I didn't like it. It was very scaring, I think.
So there you go, John. It's been quite a day for everybody on the road. As for our farmer, Murray Wyatt, you saw at the start of that piece, in the last hour we heard he finally has his power back on and can begin milking those 500 cows of his, so some good news there.
Thanks so much, Conan. Fantastic work by you and our camerawoman and editor, Bex Parsons-King. For people who were listening to that package but didn't see it, we'll put it up online. Some lovely storytelling and great pictures from the West Coast.